Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
This might be the quickest interview I've ever done. I heard a rumor that you're a St. Louis Blues hockey fan.
Yes, yes, I am.
All right, I'm from Chicago, original
Oh
six,
no.
Blackhawks. Can you deal
Oh,
with me?
I can do this. Yeah, I
Okay,
can do
all
this.
right.
I appreciate a rivalry. One of my favorite things about hockey is it stays on the ice most of the time. So,
Most of the time, exactly, and it should.
and it should. Yeah.
I've got a great, and I'm not going to waste time here because I want to hear about your musical adventures. Off later we'll grab beers and we'll talk. I've got a great Vince Vaughn Chicago Blackhawks story that
Oh, okay.
my wife kind of gets irked at, but hey, that's okay. All
I
right,
love to
so
hear
we've got that out of the way. I feel better. I wish the Blues nothing but the best, except obviously when they play Chicago.
it. Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a cool thing about the season last year. We don't have to talk about hockey, but it seemed like
Oh,
we had
we
everybody.
can.
Okay, because I'm down. But it seemed like we had everybody rallying around us.
Oh,
The
definitely,
rest of
definitely.
hockey fans were like I would wear my Blues shirt or hat, and people would be like, "Go Blues, good luck tonight," or whatever. And that was really special. I feel like you don't get that a lot.
I love that about sports when people do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like don't throw batteries at Santa Claus, but let's just be cool about it and understand it's grown men playing a boys game and getting paid a
Right,
lot of money, and let's
right.
just have fun with it,
Yeah,
right?
let's have a good time. And if it starts to be not fun, do something else. If it starts to stress you out,
Yeah,
and you're losing sleep over fantasy stats or something like that, just get out of it.
yeah,
Do
you're
something
doing it
else.
wrong. You're
Yeah,
doing it wrong. Yeah, I agree. So
yeah.
I'm glad we figured that out. Okay, I do want to know about your musical adventure. So I'm going to start with the first question here. Do you have a specific um, fell in love with music moment?
Oh man. Yes. I remember. I mean, from like as early as I can remember, my dad was always playing records in the house. Like some of my earliest memories are the Eagles and Steely Dan and Fleetwood Mac and a lot of those artists that like I call it like the music that I was born into or that I was given.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, my and I come back to it now and I'm like, wow, I still love all of those records, and it feels different than when I listen to newer stuff because it was like almost like an inheritance. It was almost like,
Gotcha.
okay, this was mine, now it's yours. Um,
Yeah.
so um, so that's kind of where like I think it all started. Um, I do remember the moment like I knew that I wanted to do music seriously and I wanted to try to make it a career. And um, I was it was probably the first it was probably the first real concert I ever went to.
Yeah.
Um, I had gone to a lot of like punk shows at like VFW halls and
Gotcha. Basements
YMCA's
and
and basements and whatever.
yep.
This was like the first like I think it's a 2,000 or 3,000 cap room, and I think I was 13 or 14. My dad took me and a friend, and he like stood up in the balcony and drank beer while we went in the mosh pit. And
Good dad. Good
yeah,
dad.
right, right. Um, but at the end of the show, the very last song, the singer who was also the bass player, he took the bass off and he chucked it up. I mean, it seemed like it went up 30 feet in the air,
Sure.
and it came down and he caught it
Oh.
right on the downbeat of the last note as the band's like, and I was standing in the mosh pit, 14 years old, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to do that every day.
Yeah.
How do I do that? And then
Yeah.
every day since then has been, how do I do that as often as possible?
Do you
Um,
practice at home?
no, I got low ceilings here,
Oh,
so
okay. All right. Yeah.
well, I'll get to the guitar throw eventually. We'll start to work on that one.
That actually reminds me. Have you seen the uh, Prince doing the Beatles song, My Guitar Gently Weeps at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No.
Dude, you have to see it. Number one, awesome version. Petty singing. They got Danny Harrison playing. Uh, it's phenomenal. And Prince, probably the best solo I've ever seen. But I'm not going to ruin it for you because he tosses his guitar. And the next time you do it live, you have to reenact the Prince. Right. You got to watch it.
Okay. I will definitely check that out.
Big roll Red Bull time. What we do is I just took random questions off the internet and have little or nothing to do with music, probably nothing to do with music. So if you want to skip anything, just let me know. But I'm going to screw these around. Just tell me when you're ready and I'll pull one out.
All right, let's pull one. I'm ready.
Here we go.
The internet is exciting and terrifying, so this will be interesting.
You just said everything right there. How do you feel about cars becoming fully autonomous and having no steering wheel, brakes, or accelerators?
Ooh, scary. I'm very scared of that. Like, I think it's where we're going. I think once it's safe enough, once it's more safe for the computer and the car to drive you than it is for you to drive yourself, that's definitely going to happen. But I also am an avid sci-fi guy. So I think about every time the computers or robots have turned against us in a sci-fi movie. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll probably be one of the last people to get one of those cars. I can tell you that. But, I'm afraid of the robots. It's only getting worse too.
Yeah.
It's the artificial intelligence.
The thing I'm excited about this is merging. Maybe we'll actually merge correctly.
Oh yeah.
Or
turn signals.
That would be the nice thing.
I imagine robots will use turn signals too, which, would be good.
Exactly. Okay, now back to music. I know this is a loaded question, but it's one I feel like I need to ask. Like, kind of in general, what's your process of writing a song?
That's tough. I mean, I feel like it happens a lot of different ways for me. What I want it to be is sit down with a guitar and 30 minutes later have a song that I'm really proud about, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
I kind of just keep a journal with me all the time and just write down stuff that comes to mind. Sometimes I'll hear a lyric in a song, write that down because it's inspiring, or read something in a book and write that down. Or sometimes I just have a weird thought about robots driving cars or something like that. I'll just write it down. And I try to just collect pages and pages of that stuff and then go back and look and see if I can find some kind of link. Because oftentimes a lot of those thoughts come subconsciously, but there's a thread there. And once I find the thread, then I try to piece that together into something melodic and interesting.
Now, is that pen and paper or on your phone?
On my phone if I have to, if I don't have the notebook, but I'm a big stationary guy. I love
analog,
the right notebook, the right kind of paper. It's kind of ridiculous. The right pen. I recently found the perfect pencil.
I agree with you with pens though. I can't use certain pens.
Yeah. I'm probably a pencil snob at this point. The standard ballpoint pen is just not going to do it for me.
I see the hashtag right now. Oh man.
Yeah. So definitely the analog thing. I don't know. There's something about it's direct, and I make mistakes. I misspell words, scratch it out, or it's the wrong word and I scratch it out instead of deleting.
Yep.
I love to see the process, the mess that it creates.
I agree. And there's something about handwritten lyrics too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few of my favorite artists have done that. They'll offer that around Christmas time. You pay them an exorbitant amount of money and they will write. You have some hanging up?
I've got a John Lennon right here.
Oh, nice.
Watching the wheel.
That's really cool. But I love that because there's just some kind of emotion connection in there. I don't know how to explain it, but it's there.
I agree. And this is something else we're going to have to Google, because I wish I could remember right now. And someone out there that's watching this interview is going to go, duh, Chris, it's this song. But you made me think of, there was someone who was stuck with lyrics, and they just basically had all their weird thoughts on paper, cut them out, and just shuffled them in place and sang them. And I can't remember what it turned into. I don't know.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So
I'm always looking for those kind of like writer's block things.
Oh yeah. All right. Big Red Bull time.
All right.
Tell me when.
When?
Ooh, all right. What's a movie you can practically quote from start to finish?
Oh my God. Any Adam Sandler movie from the 90s. Most movies from the 90s when I was growing up. What was one the other? Oh, I was at the grocery store the other day and relived in my head the scene from Big Daddy where they're in the grocery store and they're throwing the cans down to dent the cans so they're half price because the stock market had dropped. And I was like, wow, the stock market has dropped and maybe we should be denting cans.
I'm going to take advantage.
Yeah, right.
All right, back to music. Interacting with fans. How do you do it? Do you like it? Social media, in person?
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite things about music is the way you can bring a bunch of strangers together and have that experience at a show. And then everybody leaves, maybe not friends, but they share this common experience. There's this connection through a bunch of people that you never met. And my favorite thing is to talk to people after that happened. Because before it's like, I think everybody's kind of not on edge, but kind of uncertain. Like, what's the night going to be like? Do I feel comfortable here? And then after the show, it's like a totally different situation.
Yep.
Everybody has something to talk about. You see people talking to their neighbor that they didn't come with, and maybe a stranger at the bar, that kind of thing. So that's how I like to do it. I try to do it on social media, although I don't think I'm very good at social media. It's kind of it still feels kind of disconnected to me. Sure. Like a disconnected connection, if that makes any sense. So I try to be, yeah, right. Yeah. Like, this is great. But if we were like out at a bar together and there was like stuff happening around us that we're responding to, it's just a different situation. So I'm trying to be better about the social media thing. It's just tough.
I hear you.
Even keeping up with it. It's like,
it never stops either. It's
right.
It just keeps going. There's no pause.
Right.
Big Red Bull time.
All right, let's do it. Go.
All right. If you could ask advice from any historical figure, who would it be and what would you ask them?
Ooh, that's a good one. I wish I had time to think about that. I feel like I could have a really good answer.
We can always come back, or you can tell me. Go with your gut. Just
okay.
There's no wrong answers here. Take a sip of whiskey and think on it.
Okay, I like that. Cheers.
Prost.
Okay, this is totally off the cuff, but I think since we're talking music, there's a story I'm sure you've heard when Nirvana had ended and Dave Grohl was recording the first Foo Fighters record. He got a call from Tom Petty. Tom Petty said, "Hey, I want you to play drums for me."
Yeah.
There's this famous video where they play on Saturday Night Live. I think it is. It's some TV show.
I think it is Saturday Night Live. Yep.
Anyway, he does that. Tom loves him. He's like, "Hey, I want you to join the Heartbreakers. I want you to be part of the band." And Dave Grohl turns it down to start the Foo Fighters, which it's not like he turned it down to be in the Foo Fighters now. It was, there was no Foo Fighters. It was just an album that he had been recording by himself. And I'm just like, God, the balls you have to do something like that. Like, just
how do you turn down TP?
Yeah, ever.
Oh,
so I guess I would ask him, like, what gave you the courage? Like, how did you know, or how are you courageous enough to just go with your gut, even though you had the best opportunity maybe anyone ever in music as a drummer at that time? Like, how did you do it?
I like it. That would be a good have a beer chat.
Yeah.
If
I ever get to sit down with Dave Grohl and have a beer, that will definitely be on the list.
I love it. Let's talk pre-show. Do you have any rituals, anything you have to do before you do a live show?
It's gone through phases. I've learned to do like some vocal warm-ups is always good. And I sound so old. Warm up vocally and stretch your muscles. I don't know that I've ever like pulled anything on stage, but I've certainly gotten done and been like, oh, I should have stretched before I did that. Before I jumped off that bass drum, I probably should have stretched my hamstrings out.
I love that you said that. We talked about Frank Turner right before we hit record.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. He stretches before every show because he threw out his back once.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That would be my nightmare, because I'm Irish and very stubborn, and I would play the rest of the show laying on the ground before I would cancel.
At least you're stereotypical.
Yeah, right. I definitely fall into that stereotype.
Very nice. Let's do a Big Red Bull.
All right. Go for it.
All right, here we go. What do you like more, being a leader or a follower?
I think the older I get, I have to be a leader. I really struggle to follow unless I really believe in the person. Mm-hmm. Because I'm constantly, like, the way my brain works, I'm constantly trying to find better, more efficient ways to do just about everything.
Cool.
And if I'm following someone and I can't like throw those ideas out and try new stuff, then I lose my mind. So I think I've got to be the leader at this point.
You're also stereotypical Irish, so I mean, come on.
I don't think there's one Irish stereotype that I don't fall into. So, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. We're gonna finish with kind of a real quick kind of machine gun. I call it simple questions with Chris Brown.
Okay.
What's turning you on right now?
Let's see.
Could be anything.
Musically or anything.
Could be anything. Anything that you're just really excited about and you just can't get enough of.
I'm really excited about the Nathaniel Rateliff record that he released this year. I've been burning that one.
Yeah. And the story behind it is incredibly sad, and you can hear it in the music, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's just gotten better. I feel like it was good on the first listen, and now on the 200th listen, I'm like, I still love this. I still want to listen to it again.
I hear you. What piece of movie or TV memorabilia would you like to own?
Ooh, movie or TV memorabilia. Man, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so if I could have Luke's original lightsaber, that would definitely be it.
Nice. Would you play with it or just frame it?
Absolutely. No. I don't believe in framing things like that. Yeah. I would have like a special shelf, but if you came over to the house, I'd be like, you gotta play with this thing.
Game over. We're doing that.
Yeah.
What should every man know?
What should every man know? I think That's a tough one. I don't know that I have advice for for anyone, let alone every man.
Or even
Um,
yourself?
I think you should know the difference between strength uh, or the difference between weakness and compassion. I think a lot of men specifically are afraid to be compassionate because they think they look weak, and as men, we're told never ever look weak. But I think the world would be a better place if that was understood.
Bravo. That was brilliant, man.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for your thank you. What should every woman know? Take
Mm,
another sip of whiskey.
yeah, that's an even more dangerous one to comment on. Mm, every woman should know that we're just men and we're sorry.
It
I don't know that it needs to be more complicated than that.
really doesn't.
And thank you for your patience.
Yes, exactly. Putting up with us. I can't believe you
Yeah,
do.
I know.
What fictional character would you like to hang out for an evening with?
Oh, um, fictional character. I'd I'd probably have to go back to Star Wars and I would hang out with like Darth Vader and see if we could go out and freak some people out. I imagine he'd be cool if you were just hang out, like if you were buddies. But
As long as you're not a stormtrooper or one of the commanders.
right, it's anyone that he wants to choke.
Yeah.
I think I think we could have a good time.
That could be fun. Like it's almost like Spaceballs, like where like you're at the bar and you're like, Darth, get that guy, and just have him do the little thing from across the way and just
Yeah.
with people.
Yep. Or
Have him
that guy's being a
the
jerk.
force and grab someone's whiskey.
Just pull it over to us. That would
Yeah.
be great.
All right. That's a good one. Now we end simple questions with Chris Bro with a happy thought. Any happy thought, any happy moment in your life. Doesn't have to be the happiest, just anything.
I feel like my life has been full of really great moments the past couple of years. Super grateful. My little brother had a baby in January, and he lives in Missouri, and I was able to go up there and be there like right when his son was born. And I think seeing your little brother become a dad is pretty special. So that's my happy thought.
That's a happy moment, dude.
Yeah.
Prost. That's a
Hey.
good ending, man. All right, we are almost out of time. So two options. We can talk about something else that you want. We can just hang up right here, or we can do the big Red Bull one more time.
Let's do the bowl one more time. That one's been fun.
Yeah, you've gotten some good ones.
I've gotten lucky. I feel like I haven't gotten anything like divisive, like politics or religion.
Oh, they're in there.
Okay. All right. Pick one.
All right. There we go. Oh, speaking of, here we go. What gets too much attention in the news? Careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Wow. Bad stuff. I mean, generally, like things that I think are not that people don't need to know, but that make people think the world is a scary, bad place, and that their fellow man is out to get them. And I think from what I've seen, traveling most of my adult life, like that's not the case. Most people are not evil. Most people want to help each other out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to see more of the positive things that people are doing.
Then you might like my daughter wants to start a YouTube channel, and it's only good news.
That's amazing. I'll be the first subscriber.
Only fun, good stories. She's like, I want to do that. And
Yeah.
I love the idea. And I'm with you. I agree. I like to default to human beings are human beings, and we all just want to raise each other up in general.
Yeah. I think most people are like that. Of course, there's some jerks out there, but I think most of the time people are decent.
Yeah. All right. That's a good ending. I like it.
Cool.
Are you happy?
I'm stoked. Yeah. I'm
All right.
good.
Hey, a pleasure meeting a St. Louis Blues fan, and we didn't even get into fisticuffs. So
That's right. The most civil conversation I've had with a Hawks fan in a long time. So.
I love it. All right. Maybe we do this again. Take care, man.
Yeah, I'd love to, Chris. Be well.